Way to go, Tic Tac!
That's how you punch.
Wakanda forever!
Nah, you wouldn't have heard of me.
Let me put you on hold.
Dance off, bro! He's a friend from work!
I can do this all day.
Yeah, I know.
What up, guys? It's Dom, and welcome back to another movie review. Today we are going over and ranking 28 Years Later. 28 Years Later, released in 2025, directed by Danny Boyle, a group of survivors of the Rage virus live on a small island. When one of them leaves the island on a mission into the mainland, he discovers secrets, wonders, and horrors that have mutated not only the infected, but other survivors. So I feel like this was definitely a highly anticipated movie when it was coming out. And I agreed that I was excited to see it. I thought it was gonna be really good. And it was good. It wasn't anything perfect or insane, but it was still a really good movie. So let's go over why with the 10 essential aspects of a movie. The first essential aspect is plot. So the plot, I mean, it's a zombie movie. They're all gonna have similar plots where it's just survive the zombie apocalypse. And it's kind of different with this because it's a sequel, so it does wanna continue in the same path and the same trajectory. But overall, it's still very similar. It's a zombie apocalypse and their whole goal is to survive. I do, however, like that the virus was contained to the UK instead of spreading all over the world. So no matter where you are, you're going to have these zombies, which adds an extra element that makes it a little more interesting than the basic zombie movie. So that part I really did like. But there were some parts in the plot that to me didn't make a lot of sense, like how some of the characters were acting and why they're going out to do this thing instead of the other thing. I don't want to obviously give away too many major plot points because I don't want to spoil the movie for those who haven't seen it yet. Obviously, this one is in theaters now still. So if you haven't seen it, you should go see it. It is really good. But besides that point, yes, the plot overall was good. It was better than most zombie movies. There were still a few kinks that I would clean up still, but it's okay. I mean, they're really small and it's really attention to detail of me nitpicking at the plot because I review movies. If I wasn't in this genre of work, then I would not really even notice it probably. The second essential aspect is attraction. So this movie, like a lot of zombie movies, are for a specific type of person. You have to like the brutality, you have to like the gore, you have to just like overall this style and this concept of movies. So if you like all those things, you will love this movie. You will have no problem watching it. You'll enjoy it through and through. If that's not really for you, this does get particularly gory and bloody. So maybe if that really creeps you out or you really have something against that, then I wouldn't watch it. But otherwise, no matter if you like the zombie part or not, I feel like this is still somewhat of an enjoyable concept where you can get into it because it's not the really cartoony type of zombies where it's just, they're all everywhere all the time. And the whole movie, there's not a single scene in the movie that doesn't have zombies in it. It's not like that. It has an actual good story element to it as well. So if you just will enjoy this concept at least a little bit, I feel like you will enjoy this movie. So I do have to say the attraction is here if you are in that specific group. If not, it's really gonna be hit or miss. The third essential aspect is theme. I guess a theme that could be a part of it besides do whatever it takes to survive type stuff is family. I mean, the whole story is about this young boy that really cares for his mother and wants to help her. She's sick, so she wants to help her find a doctor in this crazy infected world. So he's going out of his way in so many dangerous situations to actually get her that help. So if he didn't really love his mother as much as he did, then that wouldn't have happened. So the entire movie is about that connection between the two of them, and there's a lot of good emotional moments in that. So I feel like that's the overall theme that they were trying to bring to the audience compared to the classic, oh, it's a zombie movie, so it must be about survival. Like that's not the whole movie. So I think that would be the theme that I would pick. The fourth essential aspect is dialogue. So the dialogue is both good and bad in this movie. There's definitely some points where I can clearly see and feel that they don't feel like they're real characters talking to each other. It feels very fake. But there were also points where, wow, the connection between these two characters is really good. The chemistry is flowing. The dialogue rolls off really easily. The writing's really good. So it really just depends on the scene. Overall, it's decent when it comes to overall dialogue. But other than a few scenes that I can very vividly remember, the dialogue isn't anything special. I mean, those scenes really do carry it, but overall, it's not like there's good dialogue in every single scene of the movie. The fifth essential aspect is acting. So there was no terrible acting in this movie. Everyone did what they were supposed to do. I feel like it is more on the writing of the movie that if there is some discrepancies with the acting. But overall, who I think did the best job and the most memorable job for me was Aaron Taylor Johnson. I feel like he played Jamie, and I feel like he fit the role of what this character was supposed to be perfectly. I mean, the look, the way he acted, even the words he said, it all fit that character really well. I knew exactly what kind of person he was supposed to be, and he just was that person exactly. So yes, he doesn't always do the most perfect job with the roles, even roles that he fits well in. But for this one, I feel like he did do a good job, and he was given a good script, and he nailed it, not to perfection. I'm not going to say that, but he did extremely well, and definitely the best out of everyone else that had acting roles in this movie. The sixth essential aspect is cinematography. I liked the visuals of this movie. I think the whole ambiance and just the way that the forest looked, the water and everything looked good, and it did put me in that UK area when it came to the landscape, and it looked realistic. So that I do have to give them credit for. And the zombies looked like zombies. There are some movies where the zombies just don't look like them at all, and it pulls you out. In this one, they looked like zombies, especially since they went all out and made it as realistic as it would be, where technically zombies aren't going to be wearing clothes all the time. I mean, they have no reason to wear clothes. So in this one, zombies were not wearing clothes, which honestly, I feel like if in real life the zombie apocalypse did happen, that would also occur. Because why would you be wearing clothes if you really don't care about being wet, dry, hot, cold? All you're looking for is obviously humans. But when it came to the emotional side, now there was obviously big emotional attachments to some of these characters. There were big emotional scenes happening. For me, I didn't really fall in love or feel for these characters to the amount that they probably wanted you to think. I just didn't see that connection. I didn't get emotionally drawn into these characters enough to feel the same pain that these characters were feeling towards the sad scenes in the movie. Now, that might just be on me. They may have just not given me that kind of hook that I needed to really care for these characters, but I just don't think that they gave enough explanation and enough time to unravel the specific character that the sad scenes were about. So for me, I feel like they should have done a little bit of a better job with that. But I know the general audience probably still did feel it. So they definitely got some people. Just me personally, I didn't feel that. So I think that it could have been improved at least slightly. The seventh essential aspect is editing. So this movie is 1 hour and 55 minutes long. I think that's a good length. Below 2 hours for me is key for this kind of movie. It's just, if it's all about zombies, there's only so much you can do without it getting stale or just you want it to be over. So I'm glad they kept it under that 2 hours. I didn't feel really a moment in the movie where I felt like it was dragging on. I feel like it ended in the correct place with the correct amount of time. So that I think is a big plus, because again, if they extended it way longer than it needed to, the story would not be good enough to really support that length of a movie, and I would not be happy with my experience. But overall, I did end up leaving happy because they kept it shorter and sweeter. The eighth essential aspect is soundtrack. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I don't remember anything from the soundtrack. Now, this is my fault. I watched this movie some time ago. I just couldn't find a time to review it. But regardless, I feel like if the soundtrack was really, really, really good, I would still remember it to this day, just because the soundtrack would rub off on you. You would remember it. But for me, it wasn't that memorable, so I really do not have anything to say about it. The ninth essential aspect is directing. So I think it's the director's job to take these previous 8 essential aspects, put them together to make a movie that's worth watching. And the director of this movie is Danny Boyle, and he's previously directed 15 movies. And they were Shallow Grave, Trainspotting, A Life Less Ordinary, The Beach, 28 Days Later, Millions, Sunshine, Slumdog Millionaire, 127 Hours, National Theatre Live, Frankenstein, Trance, Steve Jobs, T2 Trainspotting, and Yesterday. So I've seen some of his previous movies and I haven't seen others. What I do have to definitely mention is he did direct 28 Days Later, which is the original movie of this series. So he was obviously the right man for the job to continue the saga. That movie was really good, so he wanted to make sure to have that same kind of impact with this new movie. Obviously, I don't think it did do as good as the previous one, but I think if someone else took the job, it probably would have ended up much worse. So I am glad that he was chosen, even though, yes, some of his movies are good, some of them aren't as good. I know I've reviewed 127 Hours here. That is a really good movie, and it's done well cinematically. So he has good stuff on his resume, and especially since one of them is 28 years late or 28 days later, he definitely deserved to do 28 years later. And the 10th essential aspect is time. So I will say it will stand the test of time to some extent. 28 days later has stood the test of time magnificently. It is still, a lot of people love that movie. And obviously they have just now made a sequel 28 years later. So if that stood the test of time, I feel like that will help this one stand the test of time as well. People will be like, hey, what's a really good zombie movie? Oh, 28 days later. Oh, is there a sequel? 28 years later. So I feel like that's the situation where it will stand the test of time. As a movie on its own, I wouldn't say so. I don't think it has that hook. It doesn't have that kick to really stand the test of time well on its own legs. But with the assistance of its predecessors, I think that will help it stand the test of time. Now, onto the ratings. So, Rotten Tomatoes critics gave it an 88%, Rotten Tomatoes audience gave it a 63%, and IMDb gave it a 71%. Now, this is one of the rare times where I've seen Rotten Tomatoes critics be way higher than Rotten Tomatoes audience. Usually the audience likes it more and the critics nitpick, but I guess it was reversed this time. I'm not sure. I have to agree with IMDb here. I think overall, as the movie goes, it is 70s. I mean, it has a lot of stuff it could improve, but it was still a great watch. It's a movie that I could see myself rewatching and enjoying again, so I can't really hate on it too much, but I don't think it deserves to be in those big dogs of the 80s and the 90s where they're spectacular movies, because it really does not deserve that. So I think IMDb pretty much nailed it right on the head with 71%. I would think that is pretty good. And finally, the rankings. So, in 2025, it's going to be third above Final Destination Bloodlines and below Thunderbolts. Now, it was very clearly below Thunderbolts for me. That wasn't an issue. I had a really hard time placing it based off of all of the different things that I was looking at this movie, of where else this could go. So it was really up to being right above or right below Final Destination's Bloodlines. Both the movies have the same energy to me. They both look good. They have really interesting concepts. And overall, I feel like the acting is somewhat the same in both. Maybe Final Destination has a little bit better acting, but I mean, it was really a coin toss. So for now, I'm putting it here, but obviously, as you guys know, my list is constantly in flux. Something could spark my mind realizing, hey, this movie actually deserves to be higher or lower, and I would end up changing it. So for now, it's going to be right here, but this is one of those times where it very well could change in the future. In the 2020s, it's going to be 13th, above The Fall Guy and below Blink Twice. Now, I do think Blink Twice is better than this movie. I feel like the concept is just as interesting, and the acting is definitely better in that movie. It just really depends on the type of movie that you want to see. That also has some dark concepts in it, just like this one does, but this one is obviously more well-known. It's a zombie movie. Everyone knows about that. And I put it above The Fall Guy just because The Fall Guy is simply just an entertainment movie. It has really good cinematography when it comes to the emotional side with the couple, but also with just obviously it's about stuntmen. So all the crazy action scenes that they get into. But other than that, the concept isn't anything really too special. So that's why I did put this above The Fall Guy, barely. But that, again, could change in the future if I notice something else. If I ever rewatch The Fall Guy or rewatch this movie and nitpick a little more, who knows? But for now, this is where I'm going to put it. And in all time, it's going to be 38th, again above The Fall Guy, but this time below Rush Hour. Now, again, if I'm not going to talk about why it's below Rush Hour. Rush Hour is clearly the better movie than this one. But again, with The Fall Guy, I'm not going to talk about because I just did. But again, it could always change. That's all I have for 28 years later. If you guys enjoyed this review, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and make sure to comment what movie or TV show you want me to review next. If you want to see someone that does something very similar than me, check out very similar as me. Check out my best friend, Mr. Majoritarian. He does the same thing with the movie reviewing, except he has two ongoing lists going on, one for cinematography and one for entertainment. So if that's something you think is interesting, definitely go check him out. His link will always be in my description. And I hope you guys have an amazing night. Peace out.